Alrighty guys, so in this video I want to show you how to do some of my favorite fonts. Alright, so fonts are a great way to add writing to your journal, but not just your normal writing. It's a good way to practice making your writing neater, and I want to show you some easy ways that you can do that. So I'm going to show you, my favorite font is kind of this, I don't really know how to explain it, kind of like a medievally, bubbly something or other. So I'll show you how to do this first, but I'll show you some other variations of that. I usually like to start out with something that I'm going to fill in with words and kind of think about the words as what you're actually creating with. So I might just do my name a couple times so that you can see. But so for this font, I'm going to zoom in a tiny bit so you can see better. I'm going to start to fill in this shape. I'm just going to use my name, and I'm just using a regular Sharpie, maybe if it works. There we go. And I'm going to start using capital letters, and I usually will write the word first. But see how I'm filling in this entire space? Okay, and then making my words really fill from top to bottom that space. Now I'm gonna kind of make mine go up a little bit. So I've got my name here. So I just completely wrote it out first, and then I'm gonna go back into it and show you how you can add the more interesting parts. So for the font that I like to do all the time, I simply just create a little triangle at the bottom of each of my letters where that ends. So I don't know, it's harder to see on the smaller letters, but I'm just kind of filling in that triangle. So with the S, I'll do the triangle kind of this way and fill it in. Okay. And with a B, the B is a little bit harder because it doesn't have like an ending like an S or an I or an M. So for the B, I'll usually kind of create my own on this part. You could also kind of do it off the edge here. Okay, but I'll just fill that in. All right, then with an E, I'd go like this. I might do a little extra there so that I'm adding this whole new dynamic to my letters. All right, and it's pretty simple, but it just makes those letters pop out a lot more. So that is one of my favorite fonts, but you can do so many other ones in a similar kind of fashion. So if I was doing my name again here, I might start with my plain capital letters. Okay, but on this one I might do circles on the ends. So I might have more of a bubbly things maybe at all the joints of where my letters are put together. And so these all are kind of examples of what you can do, but you can come up with your own things that you want to do to your letters. So there's not really any rules to this. I'm just giving you guys some suggestions. All right. Next thing that you can do is you could be, this is also one of my favorite things, is again, we're starting out the same way with the outline of our letters in capital letters. Okay, and I'm kind of, as you can see, I'm filling in this shape. That's something that you want to think about when you're doing a font. I think it makes your visual journal look a lot more dynamic, and if you're writing words, phrases, things like that over and over again, it really makes your words more visual. All right, so next thing that I'll do is I will kind of create one kind of block part of the letter. So with an S, I'm going to go like this, right? And then with a B, I'll add the block part on the outside. Or you could also do kind of how I did over here with the B, except not to fill it in. The S's kind of look like dollar signs. That might be funny, actually. Let's keep them like that. And I'm just going to keep going along with my letters. And I like to leave that one kind of open, so they're kind of like blocks. Then you could even go back in and like fill in the blocks with little stripes, right? Or completely fill it in if you wanted to. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with fonts, and you don't have to just use a Sharpie. That's my favorite tool for this, but you could use any colored marker. You could use the fat Sharpies, you could use a colored Sharpie, you could use a regular magic marker, whichever thing you want. So those are just some suggestions for you guys to get started. After this, you can kind of come up with your own fonts. You can be looking up different fonts. I love adding different fonts to my visual journal, so something for you guys to experiment with.